Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of NC-17. I'm Josh, this is Lisa,
So,
and that's Return of the Dead behind us, which is a good movie. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there, because today we're talking about
oh
Ghostbusters.
yeah.
I'm actually going to let Lisa kick it off, and because I know that that holds something near and dear to her heart.
Yeah, it's so weird because I grew up I never fully watched Ghostbusters all the way through as a kid. But the library ghost just scared me so much. Like I made my mom turn it off. But the part with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, that was fully ingrained in my head growing up, and I just anytime anyone does anything, I'm just like, "What did you do, Ray?" Like anyone. My roommate got so mad at me in college, and I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll stop." But yeah, I'm wearing my Ecto One T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. I got this. My mom got me that for Christmas. I drove over here in my Ecto One.
She actually does drive an Ecto One.
I do. I just got more stickers to put on it too. I'm really excited.
That's pretty.
But yeah, and I'm one of the weirdos who thinks that Ghostbusters 2 is better than Ghostbusters 1.
I
I don't know. People just seem to think 2's bad and 1 is.
I think because 2 leaned more on the comedy than
Yeah.
anything else. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. It is what it is, But me personally, I'm gonna say I think I don't even consider part 2 a part 2. It's just like
It's
a good
it's
continuation.
it's another movie. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were both good.
They're both so good though. Yeah.
But I will agree. Part 2, there were certain aspects of part 1 that were better than part 2, but all in all together, part 2 was better. Yeah.
Although it was really cheesy the way they just got the Statue of Liberty. I'm like, really?
Oh yeah. And then what was it? Vigo.
Vigo, yep.
Yeah.
One of the stickers I got is Vigo's babysitting service. I could put that in my car.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was a good movie.
It's funny. It's so absurd.
Oh yeah. I would say though the one takeaway from part 2 was not the comedy, because the comedy. I mean, let's face it, that movie is straight up comedy.
Yeah.
But the one takeaway that I kind of just didn't agree with was the guy who ran the museum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he tried a little too hard. But other than that, the whole movie was great.
Yeah. He was a character.
Oh yeah. And then it had some good cameos in it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
it was good. I think part 2 was the one where the Titanic came back.
Yeah. That bit is so brilliant.
Oh yeah. Cheech Marin was in it.
Yeah, Cheech is in there.
My favorite out of all the Ghostbusters, though, my favorite character period is Slimer.
I feel that. Yeah.
And he was sorely missed after part 2, and then they did whatever it was they did. I mean, the female version was good. I did like that one. You can't really go wrong with Melissa McCarthy, Kristen Wiig, or Kate McKinnon. A lot of people didn't really like that movie though.
I have my own beef with that movie, but that's another thing.
Well,
to me, it was an extended SNL sketch. I'm like, it could have just been a bunch of short sketches, but they turned it into a full-length movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I love Kate McKinnon and Kristen Wiig, so I watched it, but then I was like, okay, I'm never watching that again. Please don't hate me for saying that.
I mean,
it's my thing.
Oh yeah. I mean,
and again, because I didn't really get into Ghostbusters until later in life.
Yeah.
My late 20s.
Oh yeah.
So, and yeah, people were kind of like, oh yeah, this one's bad. Don't watch it. And I'm like, I'm going to watch just to see if I think it's bad. And I did.
I mean, it definitely wasn't up to par with part 1 and 2. It wasn't up to par.
That's the thing. I think also I was comparing it to the other ones.
Yeah. But Afterlife was a good...
Afterlife, yeah.
And that was a good return to form for Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I like how...
I love Phoebe.
Oh yeah. And we'll get to the new one here. We finally saw the new one. We'll get to the new one here in a minute. But I will say, I like how they did kind of like the love story to Harold Ramis,
Yeah,
and
I cry every time I watch that movie.
oh
Every
yeah,
single time.
yeah, and a lot of people are like, what did he whisper into Phoebe's ear? No one really
No one
knows.
knows.
You know,
I like that they leave that up to the audience.
oh yeah, yeah. Uh, so before we get into the new one, let's go back and rate part one, 1 to 10, 10 being best, one being worst. What would you rate part one?
A 9?
A 9. All right, and that's high because you don't rate
I
nothing
don't.
10.
I don't.
What would you do part two?
Well, 2, I'm gonna give it the 10.
Uh-oh.
Obviously.
You heard it here first. Her first 10.
Again, we have recording of me saying it's my favorite movie multiple times. So yeah.
Oh yeah. That part two also had that Bobby Brown song, "Too cold to hold and too hot to handle." That was a good song for that movie.
Mm.
You know. What about the Ghostbusters with the women?
I've only seen it once, so I don't feel like I'm allowed to give it a rating.
All right. So we'll just say an asterisk next to that one.
Yeah.
What about Afterlife?
Oh my god, that was so good. See, because Afterlife, like, I watched before I really got into Ghostbusters. It was like my parents and I just wanted to go see the new Ghostbusters film.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm watching it, I'm like, well, now I have to go home and watch all the other movies, and just like I'm like, this is gonna be my personality now. And sure enough, look at me, look at who I am.
Oh yeah. It was Afterlife was actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would actually rate part one an 8.
8. Okay.
I mean, good story, good intro to the series, good music, good cinematography, and all that. There was a couple of drawbacks, but I'm not going to name them because they're not really worth mentioning.
Okay.
Part two, I would give also an 8, just for the simple fact because it was against some heavy duty movies coming out of that year, and I was like, all right, but it was still good.
Mm-hmm.
The lady one, I'll give generously a 3,
Nice.
and that's being
Yeah,
very
that's
generous.
very generous.
Only reason Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you rank anything that low.
Yeah, no, no, it was That's I just yeah. Afterlife. I'm actually gonna go just because I like how they paid respect to Ramis. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 9 as well for that.
Now,
And just the characters were well written too. I feel like.
yes.
Yeah.
I do like
I like podcast.
podcasts.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, podcasts and Phoebe to me were the best 2 characters. Well, okay, podcast, Phoebe, and the Muncher were the best 3 characters in that movie.
Yeah.
And you can't take nothing away from Paul Rudd, who seems not to be able to age a day in his life. But the thing is at the end of the day, it's like when again, I'm a strong advocate when you have young actors taking front stage. I mean, they either A are going to knock it out the park, or B they're not, and they did good.
Yeah, I mean Paul Rudd, like, yeah, he's like a capital A actor. Like he's been around the block, so yeah, of course he was gonna pull off.
Oh yeah.
Gary Gruberson.
Oh yeah. Fun fact. I think I mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. He got his start in Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. That was so to go from that to Clueless to Ghostbusters and also Ant-Man, and I mean he's ran the gauntlet of movies.
That's the second episode in a row we've referenced Ant-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we may have to cover Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Just not Quantumania. That
Not
one.
Quantumania.
No.
That was.
And the only good thing about that was when the credits rolled.
Yeah.
So I'll rate that one now 0. No, I'm just playing. It gets like a 2.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, but let's talk about Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Yeah.
That was good.
Mm-hmm.
Was it better than Afterlife? I want to say it's on par to being as good, but it falls short just a little.
Short, yeah. It did stress me out. Some bits of it.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, like, what everyone's complaining about is like the fact that the battle with the big bad was like so short. And I'm like, I do agree with that, but I feel like we got a lot of story otherwise.
Oh yeah. Well,
And they did Phoebe so dirty in that movie. I felt so bad for her.
oh yeah, definitely. Now, here's the thing though. And when I was watching it, I went in there subjectively because I was like, all right, normally when you have one good movie, you have a bad movie. So I was fully subjective. It was like, I'm not gonna blame anything. I'm just gonna go watch it. I think I took something away from that movie what others didn't take. See, everyone's going to see Ghostbusters because it's Ghostbusters.
Mm.
Yeah, this was a Ghostbusters, but I think that actually took a backseat to the coming of age of this girl.
Yeah, it really did.
You know, and who felt isolated because her family wasn't, like trying to be helping her, and it just seemed like she was getting it left and right, but nothing positive.
Mm-hmm.
To where she turned around and became best friends with a ghost.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to spoil nothing, but
I highly do not recommend doing.
yeah, if you go play chess by yourself and you see a piece move, run away.
No, like that must me because I'm like, I thought like Egon moved on. I'm like, who the frick is this? Like, are we supposed to assume Egon's back or like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it was just a whole new one. I was like, oh, that's a twist.
Oh yeah. I mean, again, it was something different, but on the same hand, it's like, how believable can you have this going at any ghost? Because you hear all these ghost stories, unless you're talking about Casper. You hear all these ghost stories of ghosts are bad, ghosts are evil, blah blah blah. But yet you got this one ghost who's just trying to be friends with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, something's not right there. But I do like all the throwbacks.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I immediately knew like why the slime was happening.
Oh yeah. There is a question I have though. So Slimer was never captured at the end of part 2. So, but he wasn't in the. Well, I can see why he wasn't in Afterlife, because it didn't take place in New York. So Slimer this entire time has been living in an attic.
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
been feeding off the rats who live there or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Really anything.
Oh yeah. I don't know. That was a big pile of candy bar wrappers.
That's true. Yeah.
I think maybe Winston was just like, "Hey, here you go, here you go."
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But the end, they somehow, I thought Ghost never like aged. They made Slimer look older.
They did, yeah.
I'm like, all right,
well, I mean, if you're gonna be eating the way Slimer eats, you're gonna age yourself no matter what you are.
That's true. Fair assessment. But I do want to rate this movie up there, but I don't think it deserves a 9, just for the simple fact, because I got what they were saying, but it just fell short a little bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rate it an 8.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
Yeah. I agree with that, yeah. It wasn't exactly Afterlife, but it wasn't exactly the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah. That's very true. Yeah. I do like that they brought back the mayor.
That made me so happy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was still after them. And just so from beginning to middle to end, I will say this was probably the most consistent Ghostbusters movie, period. For the simple fact, because it started with issues with Phoebe, and it ended with Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were the last. That was the last main name mentioned before they got in the car, and I just think that, so that right there deserves the 8. But I will say I do like how Slimer and then the blue ghost came out at the end.
Yeah, that was fun.
I was like, Slimer's being chased. He's got a new friend. Yeah. What was your, takeaway, and what was your highlight of the movie though?
The part at the end with Gary Gruberson. I just loved that.
Oh yeah. And, oh, where she called him dad?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag no spoilers, but yeah, when she actually calls him dad, I was just like, oh, that was so cute.
Oh yeah. You know, and believe it or not, so doing a little bit of research, so Paul Rudd was actually one of the people that went to the producers and said, because this was not the original script.
Okay.
And Paul Rudd was like, well, you know, I see where you're going with the Phoebe character, because they had him trying a lot harder in the movie, in the original script they had. But he was like, let's just focus on Phoebe and just sprinkle, you know, some of that in there. And then at the end, just let it all come together. And in the original script, it was supposed to take place solely of him trying to help Phoebe. But I think that would have been kind of too rushed.
Yeah.
You know, so this ended good, you know, and I like when they were all walking to the Ecto one, and he was like, "Yeah," you know. But it was a good movie. Like I said, strong eight, strong eight. Uh, there's I don't know if you've seen it, but there's well, you've seen Zombievers. We were just talking about that. What did you think of that movie?
You go first. I got my thoughts on it.
It's I thought it was good. Another comedy horror movie where this group of friends go to this like cabin in the woods, quote unquote cabin in the woods. How many times you see that? But and they come into some contact of some zombie beavers. You know, and if you get bit by one, you become a human slash hybrid beaver. That's a zombie.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. We're off the wall today. But it was good. I mean, it had your blood, your gore, it had your comedy, it had all the other things that a good horror movie deserves. But it was just off the wall, batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Like a beaver bites a man's leg off. Well, foot off.
Yeah, that was no, I like that it didn't really have jump scares and like there was just gore. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is my kind of thing.
Oh yeah. It was a good movie. Rating wise, I'm gonna give it a 6, which is just above average.
Yeah, hard time.
Yeah, and that's a hard 6 because it's like, do I average it out with other good horror movies that just don't cut it, or do I give it a little bit? Only reason I gave it a little bit more was because when she became a spoiler, where she became a zombie beaver, whatever, and started beating her tail on the floor, that was just funny. Yeah. Okay. I do want to say though, this Thursday we will be blessed. We probably won't be live, but we're going to record an interview. We will be blessed to have James L. Edwards with us, who is a writer, director, actor. He has directed and starred in Her Name Was Krista and Brimstone Incorporated, which you can watch both, I believe, on Amazon Prime. And then he's also in a movie coming up called Side Effects May Happen. Or may vary. Side effects may vary.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. It looks just from the still he showed me, it looks pretty crazy. So that will be we will be talking to him Thursday, and Thursday night we will post a video. But something near and dear to I'd like to say both of our hearts. Next weekend's episode is going to be an Evil Dead episode. We're going to cover the whole franchise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, TV shows too or no?
Let's just do the movies.
All right, so we're going to do just the movies.
That's going to go on forever if we do the TV shows too.
That is very true. So yeah, we're going to do the Evil Dead franchise, just the movies, and we're going to give our likes, dislikes, you know, stuff like that. I mean, to be honest though, there's not really a lot.
There's not really a lot of dislikes.
You know, but
except that one part I mentioned, but that's just because it's violent and painful.
True.
You guys will know what I mean next week.
Oh yeah, and we also will be having another guest on in the near future, who happens to be our sponsor at Spin City / Static Tape. His name is Harrison Lang. He's the proprietor of that store and awesome dude. He will also be at Motor City Nightmares.
Oh, sweet.
He's going to be a vendor. Uh, we will be talking to him sometime when the schedules align. And then there's also a couple other people that we hope to have on. But we will be having Abby from Motor City Nightmares on again. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I asked you. I think I did. But while we're at Motor City Nightmares that weekend, you want to do a live show?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and
Fun.
oh yeah, and we the thing is I've been talking to the representative of one of the people there, trying to get them on the show.
Okay.
So I can't really name names until, I mean, off record. I mean, off camera I can, but I can't name names right now until it is 100%, set. But yeah, it's gonna be a good couple months coming up.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know,
excited.
and I know that horror, the horror genre is going to live on because it's just horror. We are a strong community,
Mm,
and I think that this year we're going to start exploring more options. Yeah, and Lisa's second book should be out
I'm in the
soon.
final push. I just gotta finish. There's like 2 more scenes I need to write. It's gonna be done if I just sit down and write them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This just in, a zombie novel. You can pick it up on Amazon Prime. And there's also we may or may not. All depends on how the stars align. We may have some merch available. You know,
That's cool.
and just if you guys are interested in that, please comment and let us know what you would like: stickers, magnets, shirts, hats, all that good stuff. Uh, I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to talk about? You know, personally or no? No.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. I know. We got some interesting people watching our show. I know that for a fact. But I would like to give a shout out to Martez Al again. He's hopefully gonna watch this one day. But Kayvon Journey, who was an original member of NC-17,
Yep.
he's our patient zero.
Yep.
I'd like to give him a shout out because without him, I would not be where I am today, and without Lisa, I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. So we are a dynamic duo. We are NC-17. We'll never get to the X because, well, we're gonna leave that to A24.
Yeah.
I suck at dad puns. Sorry.
Leave those to me.
uh, I would like to cover some other horror movies, and you know what, audience, whenever you do watch this, leave comments. What horror movies would you like us to talk about?
We
Because
will watch them / maybe have seen them.
I mean, it's almost a guarantee that
I
I've
know.
seen them. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, but next week will be our Evil Dead show, and
That's awesome.
it's going to be really good. I think it's I don't know, I like that franchise. I love. It's one of my favorites. Yeah. Uh, Also, I know I've mentioned it. In the month of October, I want to, whether if you can or not, this is up to you. Every day, cover a different movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can make that happen.
And even if it's a 10, 15
Yeah,
minute
yeah.
episode, but or we record a block of videos in one time.
That doesn't work.
Yeah. But no, it's what would you say to the audience to like just what would you say to the audience that's going to watch this or that is watching this on a personal level about horror that you love?
If you're a horror junkie and like people give you grief about it, just brush it off. I mean, personally, I got into horror because I was super depressed, and it was like I'd watch those movies and be like, my life might be trash right now, but at least it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So like, just if you love horror and people are weird about it, whatever, just ignore it.
Oh yeah.
Love what you love.
There you go. Uh I like the only movie that ever scared me was the original Exorcist. And at some point I would love to be able to cover that franchise, just the whole franchise. Except for the TV show. Because the TV show really wasn't that good. But yeah. Lisa's got prior engagements. So we're gonna cut this one short today. Hey, who knows? You might see us again a lot sooner than you think, but you never know. But other than that, I'm gonna say, Lisa, you have anything to say before we go?
Everyone wish Josh a happy belated birthday.
Yeah, I turned 45 this past Friday. Hey, we're gonna edit out we don't edit. I'm 45. It has been a good birthday weekend, and I got a bunch of horror stuff that I will probably show in another video. But I would like to say thank you. I would like to say thank you to Lisa.
Of course.
Yeah.
This was a great episode.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Martez, Kayvon, Spin City, obviously, for being our sponsor. Spin City / Static Tape. I would be amiss if I did not mention 2 podcasts. Again, Abby at Motor City Nerds. You have to definitely go check her out. Like, subscribe, comment on all her stuff. Also our stuff. But also Podcastination Unknown. They are a rookie show, I would say. They got a couple episodes under. And give them a follow, and show your support for them. And definitely please like, subscribe, and comment on ours because, well, it helps us out.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm going to say stay NC-17. And until next time, next week, next Thursday, 8 p.m., we'll be doing the interview. We'll probably drop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll probably drop the interview around 9:30. Then after that, it'll be up and you guys can watch it. And then next Sunday sound good? Mm-hmm. Next Sunday, 3 o'clock. Sound better? Yeah. Next Sunday, 3 o'clock, be here live. We're going to cover Evil Dead. And please like, comment, subscribe. NC-17 out.